My chinchilla just started running in her wheel, one of them. She's just going to be loud for a little while. So whenever that happens, in case you're like, what is happening at the Krejci house right now? Chinchillas are happening here, and they kind of just wait for me, I think, to go on video. And then the moment I go on video, they're like, we're going to raise a ruckus and make it hard to hear. So hi, here we go. All right, so how to stay top of mind in a chaotic and noisy world, right? So as we're living our missions and as we're showing up, I'm gonna ignore. It's hard to ignore. Hey Heather, I see you. Maybe she'll stop. I don't know. I can't see her, so I can't give her the stink eye right now. She knows it. S'more. Hey, psst. Stop. No. Okay. Anyway, whatever. So, it's so interesting that I'm talking about staying top of mind in a chaotic and noisy world, because it's chaotic and noisy in this room. Is that by happenstance? Or is that because it needs to be? So, anywho, basically, guys, as we're showing up in the world, as we're showing up with our home-based business, with our personal brands, with whatever it is that you actually want to call it, it makes no difference, right? As we're using our gifts to be able to serve the world, we have to be able to show up consistently over and over and over again. And I've identified a couple things that have gotten in my own way and that have gotten in my head, and then things that I've seen get in other people's heads. And so what I want to address today super quickly is how we keep going despite those things that we think. Okay? Because I know that everybody thinks them. It gets in everybody's head. I know it. I just know it. I teach literally thousands of people this stuff, so I know what happens over and over again. Okay? So, hey, good morning, guys. I see you. So, one of the things that gets in our head with whenever we're showing up consistently over and over again, because that's the name of the game, guys. Like whether you like it or love it, right? It's consistency is the name of the game. It's easy to say, which means it's easy to do, which means it's easy not to do, right? Everybody will parrot or repeat that consistency is king, and like you have to be consistent, and consistency is how you win the race. And you'll see people parrot it all day long, but do they do it? That's different, right? If you watch me, I do it. And the times that I didn't do it, there was shrinkage in the business and in my impact whenever I wasn't doing it. Now, at those points in time, because let's be realistic too, right? At those points in time where I wasn't doing it and I was dealing with severe loss, did I still need to take a step back? Yeah. I'm not saying to the detriment of your heart, right? If you're in one of those seasons of loss, if you're in that, I understand taking a step back. But if you're not in that, what we need to do is stay incredibly consistent. And consistency, I mean, my videos, are like 8 to 10 minutes? Sometimes I get long-winded and go 15, right? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But most of the time it's 8 to 10 minutes. It's not a super long video, but you know I'm going to be here every day. You know that I'm going to be on. You know I've got my short videos, my reels. You know I've got my content coming out. You know I got stuff to say, and it consistently comes out. You don't see one thing from me and then 6 months later you see another thing. And then 6 months later you see another thing. You wouldn't know who I was in that case, right? And this isn't an ego thing. It's the way I serve. So you wouldn't even know that I can help you. And the same goes for you. Your people aren't going to know that you're here to help them if you don't consistently show up. And so while all the coaches and the mentors and whatever, they consistently parrot the concept of show up consistency is key, blah, blah, blah. But then look at them in their own lives. Are they showing up and are they being consistent? Because it's an easy thing to say, but are they doing it, right? Are they actually doing it? Yeah, it's the right answer. The right answer is never hard to give. Living it out is something completely different. And that's what makes us different. Okay, so in order to stay top of mind in a world that's chaotic and noisy and crazy, and man, we live in a world of reels, right? Short micro content where it's like flip, 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 right? And to be able to show up and be seen in that world, recognized, followed, going down the rabbit hole of how can they help me do X, Y, and Z, that requires massive consistency, okay? And so in being massively consistent, let's talk about the things that make that difficult. And there's two different things, okay? I'll talk about the most important one first, and then I'll talk about the one that's a mindset one second, okay? The most important one, you guys, is that you know your bat signal, that you know it inside and out, that you know what they want, what they're scared of, what they've tried before, right? What they actually are looking for, not what you believe they're looking for, but what are they really actually looking for in that time and space? Because the reality is this: if you go too far ahead on their timeline, so let me just say, for people that haven't seen me talk before, what is bat signal? Bat signal is basically who your person is, who you're serving, and how you're serving them. Okay, the reason I call it bat signal, it's actually kind of backwards, but just bear with me. The reason I call it bat signal is because when we know who we serve and how we serve them, we put it out into the world via like the strategies I teach you in HBR. We put it out into the world, and then they see us because we're so consistent. They see us and they come running because they're like, oh my gosh, that person is here to serve me. That person is here to help me. And then we can actually help our people, and then we get to live in ministry, and then we get to live in purpose and on mission, and we get to do all of this from home and blah, blah, blah. That is the core of all of it, okay? And so when you know your bat signal inside and out, when you know what they're looking for, what they're actually looking for, and now let's talk about the timeline part, because this is where people get little offsides, okay? So the timeline, essentially, when we're looking at determining what our bat signal is, we're thinking back to earlier in our life, and we think, okay, this was a time I really needed to figure something out. I'm going to be the person that's going to help me previously figure this thing out, okay? Except now you have moved along in your journey, and so your perspective is no longer the same. You're different now. You know more. You know what this person needs down here. And what most people do as a mistake when creating content for this person is they actually create content for this person, which is really just going to rally up your peers. You can't serve here because it's everybody, they already know, right? And this person back here doesn't know that they need this. And so if they're not aware that they need this, it does not attract your actual person. Does that make sense? So we need to attract this person right here. Am I being ambiguous? Tell me in the comments. Are you guys tracking? Am I making sense right now? Or are you like I just don't even know? Please tell me if you're tracking, okay? All right, so this person right here is the person that we actually need to create content for. And you might be like, that's going to be really basic content. Okay, mind blown. Good, I like that. Perfect. Good, good, good. So this person back here is who we need to create content for in this time, in this space, in this awareness of their problem, okay? And so when we start creating content for this person, we get to meet them where they are, and then we get to walk them to where we are. If we talk about where we are, and I can tell you how to do X, Y, and Z here, this person's like, I don't see the breadcrumbs, right? I can't see how I would get there or how that's relevant to me. They only know what they're thinking of in that moment. What are they scared of? What are they searching for? What is really happening in their mind? And so that's what you need. So in order to stay top of mind, you guys, we need to address them right where they are consistently. Okay? Does that make sense? And so, so in order to do that, you need to know precisely who your bat signal is. All right? Which is why, wink, wink, which is why in HBR, I've created, well, we're in January 1st, we start our new round of HBR. Okay? It's a 12-week run through. By the end of the 12 weeks, you'll have 7 income streams set up and rocking and rolling, taking 1 to 2 hours a week to maintain them. That's HBR, all right? And then I actually do a report, a 50 to 60 page report on your person with exactly what they're looking for. All the things you need to know about this person, I do a report for. You get a year of content, full year of content. Every single day, not Monday through Friday, full year of content of what they're looking for. So you'll be able to, you don't have to think. You don't have to think about what they're looking for. I've done the research, right? So that's the coolest part about all of this. It changes the entire game. You no longer sit in paralysis thinking, what if I'm wrong? What if they, okay, what are they looking for? I think they want this. I think they want that, but what if I'm wrong? The what if I'm wrong is going to paralyze you, and you cannot be consistent when you think you might be wrong. You won't be. You won't be consistent if you think you might be wrong, which is why I do this for you, okay? If you're not in HBR yet, jump in HBR. The details are under this, or I don't know, in the caption of this video. You're going to message my Facebook business page. We'll have a quick chat, and then I'll give you the details of the program. If you're already in HBR but you don't have the blueprint that I'm talking about, message my business page the word blueprint, and we'll get that for you, okay? Everybody that's starting January 1st that has the blueprint and is going through it live for 12 weeks, you're going to know who those people are. You're going to be able to tell. It's going to be very, very quick. Anyway, okay, so there's the one. So that's one potential paralysis point, is not speaking to your person right where they are, okay? There's that. Now, the other paralysis point is a mindset thing, right? Oh, yay, so excited. Me too. I'm so excited too. I'm so excited too. And HBR is everything. It's so cool. So the second paralysis point is the fact that we have to be so repetitive, right? So some of you guys that watch my videos every day, you might be, you hear me talk about HBR every day, and you guys probably don't even care. You're like, well, I'm already in and I love it. Yeah, of course you're talking about it because it's great, blah, blah, blah. And that's, but me having to talk about it every day, I've had to get used to being able to do that without being like, they just heard about it yesterday. Why am I going to talk about it again? Here's the reality. The reason that I talk about it again is because there are people watching this video that have never seen my videos before. And if I don't let them know that this comes up, that there's a thing that's happening, then they don't get to be helped by the thing that's happening, right? But for us, we get paralyzed in, I don't want to have to keep talking about this thing. I don't want to have to keep saying this. It feels weird to keep saying this. The thing is people need to hear something. Used to be the number was 7 to 15 times before they made a buying decision. Well, now in the world of reels and crazy micro content, I think that number is like a 10x or a 20x number these days. It's a lot more people have to hear things because they don't remember where they heard it. Because we swipe so fast and we keep going through so much other content that we don't remember where it came from. And so when we cycle back into their content again, because we're consistent, do you see how this all comes full circle? Because we're consistent, and when we cycle back into their content again and we say it again, they're like, oh, that's right, that was the person, I need to save this. And eventually that will happen. But that's the world that we live in whenever it comes to online business, online ministry, online missions, however you want, whatever you want to call it, that's what it is, right? But that's the reality of it. is we can't act like people are only watching our stuff all day long. They're not. I don't watch just one person. I watch many people's animals and chickens, you know, all day long, right? There's many farm animals that I watch on my short videos all day long. The algorithms have got me laser focused. Give her farm animals. I will watch them. I'll watch them. I'll watch cute dogs. I will watch all of that stuff. But I don't know who I'm watching from one moment to the next. And so if I were to hear somebody say something really compelling to me, I might be like, oh, and then maybe something else happens in my house because I also have a 9-year-old and a family and 2 dogs of my own and a chinchilla that won't shut up, right? So that there's always distractions. We live in a heavily distractible world, right? And so we're not necessarily going to remember what somebody just said in front of us. And so we need to own that. It's our job. We have to be consistent and we have to say what feels like the same thing over and over and over again. Now, did I take up the whole video saying that? No. Did I say it for maybe 15 seconds? Yes. Because it's my job. It's my responsibility to let you know, if you want this, I teach this, and jump in because it starts in January, right? So like you have to be able to do that, right? From a mission perspective, you have to be able to do it. So, okay, you guys, where are we at on time? 16 minutes. See, I got a little long-winded on this one. I love you guys. I'm getting out of here. I will see you later. Bye-bye.